Hello everyone, from Tony the Scarred Ghost. Today I want to talk with you about The Secret of Retropolis, an indie VR game available for Quest and Steam, made by the indie studio Peanut Butter. Since this is an indie studio made mostly by free people, they say they have no budget for marketing, rely on the word of mouth. So here I am to give you my word of mouth to support indie gamers, indie game developers like me. So let's discover this cool point and click adventure in VR. So what is the secret of Retropolis? It is like a point of click adventure in virtual reality. The developers themselves, they say that they've been heavily inspired by the LucasArts point and click adventures of the 80s and 90s. So you know that I love them so much. So that's why I wanted to play this game. And I thank Peanut Butter for having given me a key to being able to enjoy it. So the story is about, the society has become dominated by robots, but just because humans have created a robot and have left the robot on Earth to populate the planet. But the society of robot is very similar to the ones of the humans. You are a robot, of course, like everyone in this game, and you are a private investigator. And you are a bit like, Humphrey Bogart, a bit melancholic, a bit sad. And one day arrives a very fascinating woman in your office, and she asks you to help her. I won't tell you more than this of the story, but of course, helping this woman will bring you into something that is very complicated, sometimes also bad for you and this kind of stuff. So it's very interesting and very intriguing, the story. It is made into chapters of the game, so when you win the first one, you can play the second one. And when you play the second one, you can also access some extras. So you can see the models, the sketches that developers have made. But turning back to the story, after the second chapter, you realize that the story is not ended. Most probably, there should be much more to say about it because, you start scratching the surface in these two chapters. So I think that the developers have put this game in App Lab trying to get some funds to make the full game because there's a lot more to do and you finish the game wanting for more. Um, the interactions are very point and click like. It is a game you play seated, so you stay very comfortable when you play it. And you interact with objects by pointing with them and clicking. And click on them, you have some interactions that is prescripted. So it is maybe an object, I don't know, it's a phone, you click on it and you grab it and you start talking with it automatically. Or you may be a person, click on it, and you can select some dialogues. Like all the point click adventures, you can select things to say, and the dialogues are prescriptive. Some objects are not interactive, and so you can select them, or others you can select them by the character just answers with something that you realize you can't use it. I don't know, like you click on the door of the toilet and it says I don't have to use it now, something like that. So a bit funny usually to something to come up with. You interact with objects and you have to solve some riddles, of course. So like in all point and click adventures, you're in an environment, you have combined some objects, you interact with things, discover cues, and find a way to solve that environment to go to the next one. Usually between two environments there are cutscenes that make the story go further. What I have to say is that it is not like Monkey Island where you have various environments, you have to go to one, then to another, return back to the first one, where you have some objects. Every environment is self-enclosing, and this may not happen so that you get stuck in something when you do something wrong. So you do stuff, you explore everything. When you solve the riddles, it's over. Go to the next one. You can't go wrong and ruin the game forever. The dialogues and the interactions in general have always a funny mood. So, like point and click adventures in the past, There are always funny things to say. Sometimes in the dialogues there are some sentences that have no sense, but you say them the same because so the other character may say a funny answer, this kind of stuff. So it's a game that has always this, it's a bit melancholic, it's a bit sad environment because it has very strong noir vibes, but at the same time it has a nice humor. So it keeps you entertaining a lot, and I think that's interesting. Also because of this, because it's fun to solve the riddles. I think these riddles are never too complex, at least in this app lab version. Uh, 2 or 3 times you may find yourself thinking a bit how to solve what you're going to do, so they're not super easy. Um, and there is good that there are these riddles and there is the story and there are these vibes. So I think that the immersion is pretty cool. Also because the audio is well made and the visuals are very well made with these very retro vibes. Everything is being modeled in Quill and modeled pretty well. And there is this kind of dithering in the lights and whatever, the shading that makes it, gives it even stronger retro vibes because it reminds you the lightings of the old games when there was the dithering to show the different shades. So I think everything has been well conceived in the end. And that's why while I was playing it, I was there immersed, and I could say for the duration of the game, it was like probably 1 hour, a bit more than that. I felt very immersed. When I removed the headset, it was like, okay, why am in this room again? So I think the game was pretty fun. I was entertained by it. I was immersed in it. The story really made me curious about how it could end. And I think that sometimes when you have some choices to make, they can also change the story. Especially, there is one particular choice that I understood was probably different than the other dialogue choices. And in fact, it changed a bit the ending of the game. I don't know if this, I guess it's just something that for this, let's call it demo, this first version of the game, it just impacts the final part, but maybe if the game will go further, the choices will decide how the full story will go for you. I think that I said it all. Probably I should just say that also the interactions are cool because, as I said, there is this point and click stuff. And since you're a robot, things are very easy because what you do when you click, you see, you click on the phone. So you click on your controller, you see your robotic hand attaching with a spring, with an electric spring, connecting your hands that goes away maybe for 2 meters. Then your hands come back again and you can interact with the object. So it's a fun way to interact with the objects where you stay seated and not break the immersion of the game that you're a robot and you can do stuff. So, and for the interaction side, there's nothing else to say. It's just point and click and nothing else. So you can't move, you can't do anything else. But another smart UX choice is the inventory. The inventory is like, I don't know how to define it, a suitcase that follows you. It has wheels and it just stays there on the floor following you. And you can click on object, click on the case to put them back, then click an object in the case to keep it on your hand. So it's different way of interacting with the inventory. Usually you use something on your back, on your chest, whatever. So this is very cool because the chest is there and on your chest are always also suggestion of what is the next step. So it says rescue the girl or you have to find a way to grab that object or whatever. So I think it's a smart solution. All in all, I think I said it all. You can buy Secret of Retropolis on AppLab on Steam for 14 euros. My final impression is that it's a very nice game. So impressive work for just 3 developers with the help of other people. I can't really find a defect on this game, apart that probably is a bit too short. Especially for 13 euros, probably I would expect it to play a bit more, maybe another hour at least. But the game has very good vibes, has an interesting story, is funny. To be a game made by an indie studio, I think it's very high quality work. So I suggest you to check it out. And that's it for today. I will leave you the link to play The Secret of Retropolis here below. In the meantime, before you play it, please like and subscribe and donate on my Patreon and wish me a great day because I wish you a great day in VR. Bye bye.